you.
I'm waiting for it to actually start showing up in the.
It's got the. You probably started it right. It's got the. What is it called? The delay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to make sure it's connected
I think
correctly.
the delay is honestly only apparent to us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
As soon as we start transmitting, I mean, are we already transmitting?
Probably. It's going to be a hot mic situation.
So
again.
I have
Nice.
hold on a second. I have a
This video is only available to subscribers.
Oh, the link that Alec gave us is slightly off. So if you click
As soon as we start transmitting, I mean, are we already
There you go.
transmitting?
Probably. It's going to be a hot mic situation.
So
again.
I have.
Mine still adds, and I have it muted because I think that's probably a good idea.
Mute.
I'm not quite sure.
Aha!
We're hot.
We're
We're hot.
hot. Video is only available
Good.
to subscribers. Nice.
Hello.
Yeah.
I don't know how to tell if I'm logged in. I'm going to say
Well-
something and see if I have my own name.
Does that have a name?
I don't know why, but it keeps. Do you all see it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
I
I'm
have-
logged in.
I see a delayed version of me.
It seems to keep crashing on me, so I want to make sure that.
I see it.
Okay.
And it is on delay, but it's very short.
Mhm.
Although some of us are cut off a little on the bottom, but
Yeah.
that's hardly important.
Oh, it's because of the banner on the bottom.
Yeah.
The banner is the most important part.
I ain't got a name.
Here we are. So let's begin. I'm gonna get my.
Can I
Zoom
mute
back
that?
up.
Stop staring.
Welcome back to Hometown Heroes, a playthrough of Hunter the Vigil 2nd Edition. My name is Alan Turner, and I will be your storyteller tonight as we work towards taking our characters, our Uptown Shadows heroes, to discover some dark and sinister things deep within the streets of Uptown in the Chicago area. And I don't see. Can you all see the stream?
I see it.
You
I
see
see
us?
it.
Yeah?
For some reason, I don't see us. So I will trust that we are alive. I can't actually see the feed.
Well,
We are
you know,
live.
the link you originally sent me was in the videos, and if you switch over to home, it should show you the stream.
The live.
Yeah, I'm seeing a commercial there.
Oh, I think if you wait a minute, it'll go by. It's like it forces all of us to watch some commercials before it
Oh,
loads
okay.
up.
Somebody's got to make money.
Fair enough. So, oh, there you go. I see us, and we are cut off. Cool. So, I just want to have my players introduce themselves. If we can go around, we'll start in the upper left-hand corner. At least is from my point of view here, with Gabe. Tell us a little bit. Tell us who you are. What are you currently working on, if you can, and where can you be found on the internet?
Hi, my name is Gabriel D. Los Angeles, son of Chief Andy D. Los Angeles of the Snoqualmie Nation. I am a writer, I guess, in the loosest sense of an academic world. Finishing up my dissertation on play and role play specifically. You can find me online in various spots, but mostly on academia.edu. Not many things going on right now, other than I happen to be running a monthly native gather for native geek spaces here in Seattle, Washington. So that's cool.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Very cool. Thank you. And then to the right, up top, JF.
I'm JF Sombrano. I do some writing work for Onyx Path Publishing. Most of my work's been on Mage 20th, and I think next week I have to tell everyone about the other big project I'm about to kick off on, so it's hard not to talk about right now. Yeah, I don't know. You can find me at Patreon at JF Sombrano. You can also just add me as a friend on Facebook. I'll add anyone until you're a jerk, and then I'll get rid of you.
Fair enough. Lower left-hand corner, April.
Hi, I'm April Songer. You can just find me on Facebook. I just work in accounting. I'm not a writer, but I'm lucky to be here. But I work full-time in accounting and I'm going to school, so I have no life.
That sounds like a life to me. And just to the right of April, we have Amber.
Hi guys, I'm Amber Lynn. I go by the Rebel Selkie on Twitter, which is probably the best way to get a hold of me if you want to find me. I'm a starving artist, aspiring writer. I mostly like to geek out about talking about gaming and radical kink and queer intersections. As for projects, I'm not creating anything on my own, but when I'm not hanging out with these beautiful people in front of you, I also have a guest spot on Blood City, which is a V5 through Onyx Path timeline thing. I told them I'd give them a little shout out when I got on here. So hi guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's about what I'm working on myself. I am also sick as a dog tonight, so I apologize for all the sniffling, snuffling, sneezing. I promise I'll make it out of this.
Oh, it's okay. We love your voice. Sniffle and sneeze all you want. And then last but not least is James.
Hi, I'm James Foster. I'm also not a writer or working on any big projects. I'm just I work in academia as administration. But you can find me online on Twitter at Umbra Venetier, and also through the Mind's Eye Society, which is a World of Darkness / Chronicles of Darkness LARP group at www.mindseyesociety.org. I don't have any big positions there. It's just a big hobby I've been in for a long time, and I like to promote them whenever I can.
Awesome. Well, thanks. And again, I'm Alan Turner. I am a writer, game designer, video game designer, dancer, performer. I'm the author of the tabletop role-playing game Edrigor, which is an indigenous
I
themed.
love that game. Sorry
Thank
to talk
you.
over you, my bad.
Indigenously themed fantasy horror game, and I am your storyteller for this evening. And what we're here to do is to explore Hunt to the Vigil, the second edition, which is currently in its Kickstarter, and the Kickstarter is rapidly coming to a close. I think we've got another week or so left in it.
2 weeks.
2
I
weeks.
think.
2 weeks. And but we've been smashing through stretch goals. So if you're interested in getting involved in that, go jump in there, because right now I know we've pushed through a storyteller screen, building up a player's companion. There's a PDF bundle of first edition titles that can be added. Lots and lots and lots of goodies forthcoming. So come on and join us, and join in the fun of protecting the world from the dark forces.
Mm-hmm.
So last week we had our session 0 where we began the process of creating our characters. Let's go around real quick and introduce the characters for our adventure. We'll start with Gabe.
Hi.
Who are you playing?
I'll be playing Leo Calder. He is a scientist mainly who is actually a nonprofit conservationist in the meantime. And yeah, what else are we supposed to be
That's
giving
good.
out?
Yeah.
Okay.
JF.
I'm going to be playing Ferdy Massey, who was once a tribal cop, but saw one horror too many and is now on the rampage trying to put things down. Oh, and also my beautiful little dog, Georgie.
Oh, right, Georgie. I forgot all about Georgie. Yeah,
Really?
Georgie to my list here.
Oh yeah, are we supposed to say our touchstones then?
No, but I remember
Oh,
that
my touchstone is Uncle Russell.
you did have a touchstone that was an AI that you were building.
Yeah.
And we'll have to dig in further to what that means, but it probably won't come up just yet, so it's okay. Next is April. April.
I am playing Shelby Mason, who is a paramedic who has seen a lot of things, but recently saw a lot of things she didn't expect to see, so that's how she got started in the hunt. She does have a puppy touchstone, but it is not allowed in the ambulance because that's unsanitary, apparently,
I
even
see.
though it's happiness. So.
If only we had good puppies in our ambulances. Sanitary be damned. Amber.
So I'm playing Harper Threadgood. She is a downtown librarian in the heart of the city. She got involved mainly because libraries in general act as like communication hubs for a lot of communities, and she was noticing that a lot of her community was becoming targeted by unknown means. And I guess my best catchphrase for to explain how she got involved with it is, you can only poke at things so often before they start poking back.
Absolutely. And then James.
I am playing Dr. Daniel Ayer, Ayer, who is a professor of history and the occult at a undefined Chicago University because I forgot half my homework. And he read too much, saw too much, fell into a hole in classic Call of Cthulhu style. So now he tries to research the supernatural.
And then everyone here was part of a compact. And I forgot to ask you to mention your compact. So I believe Harper and Shelby were members of the union.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel was
Loyalist of Thule.
Loyalist of Thule, thank you. Loyalists of Thule. And then Leo and Ferdy are members of Sworn. Yes? Okay. And this group has worked together before. Yes? Is this true?
Mm-hmm.
You have previous tales, moments of daring do. What brings you together this time around, however, is a phone call. And Harper, you're the one who initially gets it. You're at the downtown Harold Washington branch of the Chicago Public Library. What section do you work in?
Stacks.
In stacks. In the stacks, you get called. You get called to the back, and it's a friend of yours from back in the day when you were working in one of the local branches. It's woman by the name of Rita, and she calls to let you know that a patron that used to come in on a regular basis by the name of John Hart apparently has passed away, and there are funeral services that are going to be held for him shortly, and she thought you might like to know about that.
Okay.
And that rings a bell for you because John is someone who, in your initial, in the older days, he was one of the few people who knew about the things. He was a vet who lived in the Uptown area. He moved around a lot, rarely settled, and he taught some of you all and worked with you a little bit, and then you all lost track of him. No one knows what happened to John Hart, and suddenly pops up, and he has passed. and you've been invited to come to. It's not really a funeral; it's a memorial because apparently they don't have the body yet. And from there, it is up to you to decide how you want to reach out to your companions to pull them together.
I'm going to assume that for the sake of privacy amongst one another, that we may have an unlisted email address, perhaps, that is only known amongst us or amongst the people within our community per se. And I can just send out a quick CC to everyone just to let them know what happened,
Okay.
what's going on.
So yeah, you all hear about John. John was an interesting guy, and the memorial is going to be held at the First Nations Center, which used to be in the Uptown area, but has recently moved further west in the city. And the hope is, just as I'm losing track of characters' names here, just as Harper is reaching out to various members of you, Ferdy, you get a secondary call from a young woman by the name of Marilyn. So you know Marilyn. Marilyn was John's daughter, and she is bereft, and she's really hoping that you will come to the memorial if you have time, because there are some there's some issues with his passing, and she would like to have some help in getting his body back from the morgue, from the city coroner. For some reason they put a hold on his body, and she hasn't been able to get him back to her.
Yeah, I'll be there, sis. No problem.
All right. So the memorial services is actually going to be the next evening. So this is a Tuesday night, just a Wednesday night when you all arrive. Is there anything that a lot of you would like to do before you head out to engage and check in on good old John?
I'd like to call up Shelby.
Okay.
I don't think I'd use the email unless Leo set it up for me. Maybe I can read them, but I don't know how to send them.
Give you old clamshell phone.
Yeah. So I'm gonna call up Shelby and ask if I can get any kind of assistance in getting in. If hold on, let me do this in character instead of. I'm like, hey Shelby, I'm showing up to help out a friend with what's been going on with our friend who's passed away. But apparently there's been some issues where they won't let anyone see the corpse. So I was hoping maybe you had some ideas or insights about how to get us in there.
Well, I can call the police. I know if you guys, and I have a few contacts in the ER, so I can call both of them, see if there's anybody I can definitely, or at least a friend of a friend that we can page.
Maybe you can, and this is real, but it's kind of disrespectful to not let the daughter see the body, and so maybe you can help spin that angle,
Yeah, that would be helpful. Is there any other angle I can spin?
I'll show up too, and maybe I can say something too, but I'd like some help.
Okay, absolutely. I'll text you where to meet up with my contact, so we can all meet up together.
All right, thanks, sis.
So
No problem.
is the thought that you're going to try to do that before you go out to the memorial?
I think that's ideal.
Okay. Shelby, you actually know numerous people who could get you where you need to go. But the best connection actually is a person by the name of Louis Mandan, who is currently the county coroner.
Okay.
And reaching out to Louis will take a little bit of effort. Let me see here. That is a presence and since this is someone you have worked with before, and you've actually you actually know Louis, presence and socialize.
Okay.
And so before you roll, just for those who are unfamiliar with how this whole process works, everybody here has attributes and skills. There are a series of physical, mental, and social attributes. And then there are a series of skills which are also associated with those physical, mental, and social attributes. And anytime the players want to do something that may be risky, or where they may have to spend some time digging into things, they need to pull together dice and roll a number of dice equal to the controlling attribute and the applicable skill. So you get a dice pool that starts off with your controlling attribute, in this case, which is presence, and then your applicable skill, which starts off with social, but I could be convinced to, if you think you have another skill that applies better, that is there, and then any specialties you think you have in the area that may help. Each one of those will give you an additional die.
Okay. Is it possible on this that I could spend a willpower to raise my pole?
You could, and so
Okay.
so what she's asking there is we have a stat that's called willpower, and the willpower basically is your kind of wherewithal. You can focus that willpower, and it'll allow you to do one of two things. Either it'll give you a plus three dice to the die pool, or it will give you a +2 to a resistance. So in this case, we're just adding to the die pool. So if you want to spend the willpower and really dig into this, you're welcome to do so, and you can regain that willpower later on, either through rest or through engaging in your virtues or vices. So how many dice does that lead up to for you?
4.
4. And so what this is technically this is kind of an extended action, because it's, even though you know the coroner, you have to reach out, you have to kind of get through all the red tape to actually get the direct call with him and have the conversation. So it's not a terribly hard one though, because you know some of the hoops to jump through. So you're going to have to consider yourself having a successful connection with him. You're going to have to get 6 total successes. So each time you roll, that represents about an hour of working at doing this thing, and the maximum number of times you can roll is your dice pool.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So have at it. How many dice are you working with?
4.
4.
Yep.
Okay. So 4 plus your willpower.
No, 4 including my willpower.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe
You spend a lot of time
there.
in the ambulance, not a whole lot of time with the people.
Yep.
Okay. So go for it. So successes are anything 8s, 9s, and 10s are considered successes. If you roll a 10, 10s are open-ended. And if you roll a 10, you get to re-roll that 10, and you can keep re-rolling those 10s.
On my first roll, I got 1 success. On the second, I got 2 10s and no additional successes. And then the third roll, 1 9, so that's 4 successes. Let's see if I can roll out 2 more successes. Nope, just 1. So a total of 5 successes.
Total of 5 successes. Oh my goodness. So the best you've been able to do at this point. So this counts as a failure, but it's not a dramatic failure. Nothing's blown up. You're not going to jail or anything. All that's happened is you've reached out and you've made some level of connection, but you haven't actually been able to talk directly to Lewis. You've left numerous voicemails, and you know that the voicemails that you wound up. At one point, you got past his assistants, you got past secretary. And you got his direct line to his cell phone, and that's the closest you've been able to get to at this point. So now it just comes down to you waiting for Lewis to call you back, and that whole process took you. How many rolls did you make?
4.
4. So that took you about 4 hours. That took the rest of the afternoon for you at work.
Okay.
And now it's just a process of waiting for information to come back, for him to reach back to you. Um, next, anybody else have anything they want to do before we move on to the next?
I do.
Yes.
So I'm going to check with university officials to see if this John Hart fellow is a donor or an alumni or associated in any way with academia. I took the merit professional training,
Mm-hmm.
and as part of that, I have some free contacts. So I have university admin, and as a university admin, I know they can do miracles. So I'm gonna ask some people that I know on campus if they've ever heard of him or if they've seen any records of him or if he's been involved in any way.
Oh, fair enough. So what's your dice pool turn out to for that?
Let's see. It's been a while since I've used contacts. Does it have a specific dice pool? I think manipulation plus persuasion is probably my best play here.
Yes. So you're leaning into your academic connections, your power as an administrator, to get people to get you the information that you want to get. So yeah, manipulation plus persuasion. I think that's fair. What's that base pool?
That would be 3 dice. But I think, if I remember correctly, if you have contacts, you add your contacts dice dots. Maybe I might be wrong.
That sounds
on that
correct. We can dig
Might
it
be
up.
allies I'm thinking of.
How many dots do you have in the contacts?
2.
2. So yeah, just add that as.
I'm actually wrong, but if you feel that's appropriate,
Yeah.
then I can do
Just
it.
in the interest of moving things forward.
Sure.
And what does that give you for a total dice pool?
That would be 2 plus 1 is 3 plus, so 5.
5. All right. So, and what was the goal you're going for? You find out information about?
Yeah, just information, see if he's involved in any way in the university. I think last time we talked, I may have been looking at University of Chicago, like a larger school. So, if he's been involved in donating to the school, was he a philanthropist? Was he an important alumni? Was he associated with any, departments on campus? Just, out of curiosity.
And what's your campus, out of curiosity?
I think we went with University of Chicago.
University of Chicago. Okay, that makes it easy.
It was either that or Northwestern. I can't remember. We kind of, I think University of Chicago makes the most sense.
UFC works for me right now. So, yeah, go ahead. Begin the process. This is an investigation, and you're trying to dig up a clue at this point.
Sweet.
So, and this works very much the same as the last thing that I talked about. So, you're trying to uncover the clue. This is a quick action, but it has the same thing with the interval. So this is every time you are rolling, there's about an hour of time that's taking place as you try to figure out what's what.
So I roll 5 times?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to use the handy dandy Onyx Path dice roller here. Shameless plug.
It's in the chat too.
Nice. So first roll, I got a 9 and 8, a 9 and a 3 and a 3, so that's 3 successes.
Okay.
Second roll. Oh wow. Well, that's weird. I got 6 successes.
Oh, that is an excellent success.
That's just what it's telling me. It didn't re-roll. I got 3 10s, but it didn't re-roll. The third roll, I got 1 success, so that's 10. The fourth roll, I got 1. And the fifth roll, I got 3.
So at what point, how many rolls into it were you when you hit 5 successes?
The second roll.
Second roll. So this doesn't take long at all for you. Um,
Okay.
you have many people jump when you start poking around, and yeah, actually, he is in the system. Strangely enough, he has adjuncted in the past in the and in various ecology portions of the school. But most importantly, he has been a subject of a couple different research investigations,
Interesting.
where he has talked at length about um, the history, his family's history within the area, his experience as a with PTSD, coming back from Vietnam. He's in his late 60s at this point, but the interviews you're uncovering go back to the early 80s.
Okay.
So he's been around, and so one at least one of those is a joint research project between one is with Northwestern and U of C, and one is with University of Illinois and U of C.
Okay.
Um, but but basically he has a lot of folklore knowledge. People have picked his head an awful lot, and that makes sense because, as I said before, John was one of the first people you all encountered back in the day when you started to fight the monsters.
Oh, right.
He was and even then he was kind of on the street, but he was a person who actually believed you when you said, "Hey, there's a thing going on," and he helped you out.
Okay.
So so not you can roll around with that information and see where it leads you. Anybody else?
Me.
Yes, Gabe.
I want to, assuming that since this is a hot minute in the future,
Mm-hmm.
that the police are doing managing all their files digitally these days,
Okay.
and I'm wondering if I and the AI can hack the system to
Already with
just
the
have it
hacking.
released,
To have his what released?
have his body released.
Oh my goodness. That's an interesting idea. So so there are a couple of caveats there. One is that you are dealing with the Cook County morgue, and the Cook County morgue is as much on paper as it is on in digital spaces. They haven't
Mm-hmm.
quite caught up with the rest of the world.
Okay.
And but you're more than welcome to attempt to do so. But it would be a bit of an arduous process to do. You have to jump through multiple systems, both the prisons, some of the prison stuff, some of the local precinct stuff, and then also the actual coroner.
Would I in would I look at this as a cost benefit against the amount of time put into it?
Well, if the goal is to try to get him out in time for his memorial, and actually turn that into a wake,
Mm-hmm.
the chances are really, really low that you'll be able to pull that off.
Okay. That,
There's, but you can dig around in there and see if you can find information about what or why they're holding on to the body for.
might as well. If I can't break the body loose, then I won't be impatient about gathering information on the system.
Okay. So let's call that an intelligence and computer.
With a specialization, and would my AI be able to assist at all with
So
this?
your touchstone, right? That's an interesting question because your touchstone isn't a merit per se,
Mm-mm.
right? It's not something that's necessarily there to help you.
Mm-hmm.
It's there to help you with regaining willpower and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
but not so
Mm-hmm.
much as giving you extra dice rolls. So let us consider that your AI is much more of an information repository. So it's a place where
Okay.
you store stuff as you're going, but it is not necessarily an AI yet that is so connected to the Internet of Things that it would give you those capacities yet. It's not
Okay.
quite a cyberpunk AI.
Oh, good. All I made was Chatterbot, apparently.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Computer plus intelligence, you said?
Yes.
All right.
And again, these are so this stuff isn't terribly obfuscated, but it will take you around 8 successes to actually dig around and find the clues that you're looking for.
Okay. Intelligence 3, computers 2, 5 dice.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Okay. It doesn't make a sound.
Oh, is
One
that your dice
success.
rolling app? You're shaking it?
You can just shake it. It's so cool. One success.
One success. So how many times did you roll?
Once.
So you can roll as many times as you have a dice pool.
Dice pool.
The number of dice that you have.
Oh, five. Okay, so
Yeah.
5 dice, five times to roll.
Yes, and again, in this case, these attempts represent about an hour of work.
All right. Well, 2 success. Am I just generating a total number
Yes,
of
you're generating a
successes?
total number of successes.
2 successes. No.
It's 3 hours.
3 successes total. Now let's pull up the history. Okay. Okay, so 4 successes, and then it says fail if that matters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that
At
matters.
this point, not yet, because you haven't completely failed. You just haven't accumulated the total that we're looking for.
Okay, well then 4 successes, or 4 total successes and 2 rolls with no success.
So at this point, you have not. You're digging around in the system. You've found some leads that went nowhere, and you feel like it'll take you a considerable amount of time to get any further in this. You may need to take a break and come at it from another direction, or get some assistance from somebody else.
I'm gonna go have a sandwich.
Okay. So, in any other attempts at investigating or finding out about the body in the morgue, or
I was
information
curious
about
if I could. Yeah, I was curious if I could let James know. James's character. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. This is
Daniel.
terrible. I'm a monster. Daniel. Shelby would let Daniel know how far she's been able to get with the coroner, and if that would be an added bonus to basically be like, I'm working with this person, and maybe he could get a bonus to also reaching the coroner through me whittling down the success.
Okay, so that is an assisted. You're doing teamwork at this point,
Yes.
and
Is is the coroner on the vigil?
no, the
Or
coroner is
just-
not on the vigil, not to your
Okay.
knowledge.
All right. I mean, I can potentially help with like a social check, but I'm not sure. I mean, my character wouldn't necessarily have any contacts with county coroner, but I can help. Like, I'm a professor, and he was at the university, and maybe we can get some more details that way. Maybe I can help April out through teamwork, but I wouldn't necessarily have any like. I don't think I would have any extra pull with him that she wouldn't have.
So at this
Okay.
That
point,
makes sense.
it's kind of like you all are trying to canvass this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
as
I-
a group.
just letting. I mean, I would let anybody. I'll just be like, this is how far I've gotten with this situation.
So the way this would work then is you choose one person to be the lead, and that's the person who's going to do the final die roll. Everybody else can make die rolls, and every one of their successes will give the lead person a die that will increase their die pool.
Sure.
But all the assistants have to make their rolls first, and then the lead will make their roll. And at this point, what this represents is you all have been hustling. You hustled at the end of your workday, doing everything you could to reach out and find out information, and that didn't turn up much. You didn't get the direct contact you were looking for, Shelby. Leonard didn't get quite what he was looking for, and neither did Ferdy. However, after work, you're able to gather together and then unify your efforts a little bit better. So what exactly then will you try to do?
Are we actually physically getting together?
That's up to you. This is a modern setting, so you can do things via Skype call,
Zoom.
you can Zoom.
I mean, the only what I picture is just my character probably going to Ferdy about the situation, how far she's been able to get, because ultimately he's going to be able to convey more properly to the counter corner the severity of the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to teamwork because my presence oneself should probably not be the leader on that role.
Okay.
I'll be there for moral support.
Sure, let's go down there. Call anyone else who wants to come. I'm gonna rap on the door and tell them why this is inappropriate, and maybe tap my hip in the process, and they'll get the idea.
All right, I feel like a complete doofus because I forgot JF's name was James. So I thought April was talking about me. Okay.
It's all good.
We can take our shotguns together. Wait, no, that's a different role.
So you're going.
No.
So the attempt here is to go directly to Lewis's office and kind of muscle your way in.
It is. Yeah. I will. Sure.
I'll
bring the med kit.
For Ferdy, that's Ferdy's goal. But for you other two who are helping him, how are you going to go about helping him get to that point? What are your?
I am merely letting him know the bureaucracy that I have gone through so far to get a hold of the corner. Basically letting him use whatever status I have to get a hold of that person, just to be like, this person is getting a hold of you. I am the point of contact, and just giving him whatever reins he wishes to go with that, and however he wants to phrase it and everything. So I'm just going there to validate whatever story we want to say.
Okay. So that's let's call that for you wits plus medicine. Since you're digging around amongst the corners people, you're telling him the people he needs to avoid. Okay. Yeah. And then who's the other one here who was helping? Was it Daniel? Was Daniel also assisting?
Yeah, because my complete out of character misunderstanding. Sorry, guys. I think probably the angle I would put is that, as a friend of University of Chicago, we're really interested in, knowing more about what happened with him. And, there might be some concerns. We want to see the report because he had a history of mental illness. And, the family is really concerned about what happened to him. Maybe something like that.
So that's you making calls to open doors for him.
Certainly, or giving Ferdy more insight, to help him with.
Oh, I see.
His call, yeah.
So then in your case, you should roll wits plus academics.
Okay, cool.
So wits and medicine, wits and academics, and then the successes you get will add to Ferdy's dice pool.
Thanks to the lovely 9 again of professional training, 7 successes.
7 successes, holy moly.
Yeah.
As you begin breaking things down to Ferdy, it occurs to you all the things that you should have did You should have done, but you couldn't because you were you were running around. You kept getting calls. You had to stop and you had to pick people up. There's all this stuff happening, and it wasn't easy for you to think things through. But once you're talking to Ferdy, you realize maybe Ferdy's way might be a better process than the roundabout way you're going. And then Daniel,
5 successes.
5 successes.
Also thanks to professional training.
I forgot to add mine in.
And then, so again, you are it's the same thing right now. Now that your day's kind of over, and you're thinking about all the various pieces you could have done, and
All those
making a few
papers graded.
calls. You think about the papers, you think about the connections, the various ways that people need to be talked to get things to happen. And also helping to calm James down a little bit, not James, Ferdy down a little bit. You between the two of you, you're able to give Ferdy some focus about how to get up there, get in there, not scare the hell out of everybody, and actually get a result. And most importantly, because Shelby, you know that Lewis often works late, so the chances of catching Lewis in the evening is actually better than your chances of getting him earlier in the day.
Awesome.
So, Ferdy, have at it.
All
right.
So, and for you, this is going to be a much more present thing. So, it's going to be your presence, streetwise.
Okay. I get professional training shenanigans on Streetwise too,
Okay.
so that's fine with me. Important conceit: do either of them, in telling me how best to navigate this, tell me don't bring Georgie?
Georgie's the dog?
Yeah.
No. Do they?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't say that. It's up to you all.
I mean, dogs don't really go well in morgues, so probably not.
In my defense, he's actually a corpse sniffing dog.
Oh, well, I probably wouldn't have thought of it. No,
Well, for what it's worth, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What breed is that?
Are you asking
Bloodhound
what
usually,
breed my
I
dog
think.
is?
I mean,
Why don't you guess?
I know a professor who trains corpse sniffing dogs. They're usually hounds, I think.
I'm sure there's hound in him.
He's the breed of very good boy.
best boy.
Best boy.
So Ferdy will drive up in his rusty old pickup to the hospital, probably park across 2 spaces. Hop out with Georgie off leash.
Rude.
And make his way down to where the morgue is, and basically look for, based off the advice I've been given, like the person who looks the most official. And if I don't see them, I'm going to start knocking on doors.
Okay. So, what did you get as your result?
Oh, sorry, I didn't roll yet. Let me do it.
So that's presence plus streetwise
Yes.
plus 12?
Yes.
Plus 12. Oh,
Plus
really?
12.
9 again.
Wow. And then 9 again.
Yep.
All right. Does my lingo specialty apply? I don't think it would.
Do you really need more bonuses?
No, I don't. I'm just curious. Since we're
Sure.
Okay.
It's like street lingo.
Yeah, street lingo.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll be generous.
So let's see. 1, 2, 3. Plus 12, you all said?
I'm learning so much about this system.
All round of dice. I have to get more. All right.
Academiacs, assemble.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I have 9 again, so
And
4 of these.
Once
no.
you've gotten past 6 successes, you're fine.
Oh, my first roll was 6.
I'm
My
not going to
first
tell
roll
you.
was-
I'm not going to have you. So here's my last question: are you bringing anybody else with you besides Georgie the dog?
I will if they said they wanted to come with me. But if no one comes with me, I'm going to play into being impatient and be like, all right, I'm just going then.
Can I just say that during this time frame, can I be the direct contact to the daughter in question and just keep her updated? Not necessarily the whole thing, but like if we're able to, you know, if we can rub elbows per se and get her father released in time for the wake.
Okay. So you're reaching out to Marilyn directly
Yeah.
and keeping up with her. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything in particular you want from her when you do that, or are you just relaying the information as it goes?
I'm just relaying information, just being a kind individual, because I'm sure this is probably very frustrating for her as well.
Yeah.
And
well, that actually makes her very very happy to know that you all she knows directly Shelby has heard about the rest of you,
mm-hmm.
but is ecstatic that you are putting so much effort into helping her get her dad's body back.
Mm-hmm.
She's relatively estranged from her dad. They never quite, and she kind of just unloading stuff to you, right? She's like, that they never got along. He had all these issues. He never liked her husband. She moved up to Flambeau for a while. Came back down to Chicago. He had this girlfriend. He hung out with this girl all the time, and she didn't like her, and so they were just fighting and fighting and fighting. And they did the best when they weren't together. That kind of and now that he's gone, she's kind of brokenhearted and wishes that she had found better ways to do things, and she just unloads, telling you and things you get out of this. And this is just purely because of your reaching out and telling her this information. Is somebody else, the other person who would be happy to hear this is his ex-girlfriend, this woman by the name of Suzanne. What is her name? I just lost her.
Marilyn.
Marilyn is the daughter.
Is this someone else?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Suzanne Laurie. And she may or may not be there at the memorial or wake, whatever it turns out to be. It's actually a vigil. Traditionally, it would be an overnight thing where they all sit there with the body overnight and watch until sunrise, and then go out to bury him. So, so she just keeps. She just fills your ear with all kinds of thoughts and all kinds of hopes and all kinds of sorrows and whatnot. But the rest of you, so who else is going with Shelby? With Ferdy.
Shelby will be going. She's gonna be out. She'll offer either to go in with him or just be in the parking lot waiting in case he needs help or anything. But she would.
No, yeah, wingman me, sis.
Yeah. We'll do this. We are the shotgun friends, so it's fine. We can go in together.
All right, I'm definitely going in then, because now I'm worried.
Shelby shotgun. Daniel is also shotgun.
Oh, no, Daniel just has a pistol.
Okay.
What is shotgun? But empathy 3, so I'm very empathetic.
and this is happening later in the evening. So what would Leo be doing while this is going on?
I was wondering if I could just do straight up information gathering then. If hacking the systems wasn't going to get me a reason why the body's been held, then this sounds like something weird is going on, and just looking to do some information gathering straight out of persuasion.
Okay, and who would you be reaching out to for this information?
The morgue.
Okay.
I'll just go straight down there and walk and talk and ask, just trying to be social about it. And then inquire to them who else I should ask for more of this information. Following the line out of professional training research associate.
Okay. So do you let your companions know about your own trip down to the morgue?
No, of course not. I could do this all by myself. Of course I can.
Okay, so
that's your advice.
In your case,
Forgot his
then,
license
I would
everything.
like you to also do a information gathering. Let's go for um, manipulation plus streetwise.
Okay. No streetwise. Because this was just going to be straight up persuasion. I just wanted to ask if I focus only on talking to people at the Cook County morgue, can I persuade them to give me this information?
Right, but you have to first figure out who is the person to talk to. Who are the right people to? I mean, if you just walk up to some common clerk at the front, they're going to be whatever. I'm not telling you anything. You're just some Joe Schmo off the street.
But that's exactly what persuasion would be for.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I mean, if I'm a nonprofit and a scientist, I'm going to go straight to the institution and break it down.
This is true. Okay. So
I also have a question in regards to that. One of my merits is investigative aid. Would I be able to do some kind of role with Leo to like maybe feed him some info?
so you guys
so
could,
he has a way to.
yes, you could do the thing that the other group, the other portion of the group did, which is a teamwork a move where you you gather some information one way and then use that to affect the roles that he's going to be making as he tries to persuade. So think of it like at this point, Leo will wind up being the face man up there chatting people up, and you would be gathering bits of info that you can feed him that helps him get that chat to work better. Does that make sense?
It does.
So, Leo, you're about to do a persuasion plus manipulation.
Sure.
And Harper.
And what does the specialization get?
The specialization gets you an extra die.
Okay.
And Harper's successes will give you extra dice on your roll.
Okay.
So Harper, you're just gathering. You're doing a little bit of information gathering. So yours is going to be intelligence plus investigation.
And then do I add an additional die for that 1 dot of merit?
Yes.
Okay.
So just tell us how many successes you get, and those successes will add to Leo, and Leo, you just increase your dice pool by those successes.
Okay, so that's intelligence and investigation, and then 1 for investigative aid, just to confirm.
Yes.
Okay.
I think with investigative aid, you also get an exceptional on 3 successes.
You're correct.
It's a good merit.
Yeah, and it's 7 dice pool, by the way. So I do apologize. I'm rolling with my vampire brand dice.
Get out of here.
I'm sorry. They're the only D10s I have on hand right now. Forgive me. I'd rather ask forgiveness than permission. So basically I have 2 10s, 3 successes, and 1 non-success out of that.
So re-roll the 10s.
Mm-hmm. Another 10.
Re-roll that 10.
And that was a non-success.
Okay, so how many successes is that altogether?
3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6.
It is good to have a great librarian on your side. They know the databases. They know the ins and outs. They know the swiftest ways to gather the right information to let you do the work you want to do. And so as you go up to the corner, Leo, what is your name? Harper.
I guess you could say I Dewey decimated that role.
We're Library of Congress now.
Ooh, Dewey decimated. Nice.
Dag.
Harper is able to not only direct you to the main clerk, the head clerk that you should talk to, as opposed to the clerk on who's at the
On
service
duty?
desk.
Yeah.
Also, she's able to give you some layouts of the building, which so you can it's like there's different pathways to get to that clerk desk, and some guards are more dutiful than other guards, and you know, it's just enough information to kind of shorten your path to the craziness.
Excellent. I see both of us are aiming to become Felicity Smoke of the team.
Basically. So, and yeah, you get up there and you begin. The clerk looks up, and as soon as you come up to his desk, he looks up to you and is already beginning to tell you that that service hours are done, and you go right into your spiel.
Hang on a second. We're just here. I'm just here to find out what's going on because there's a body being held that's a little hinky.
A little what, sir?
A little hinky.
Hinky. He's like, I don't have any hinky on my list here. Just going through his papers.
Nice.
Going through the system. So, what all do you tell them? How do you get them?
I just tell him right what's the fellow's name? John Hart.
Yes.
John Hart. While I might not be able to get John Hart's body released, I do want to know why he's being held. What's going on there? Did something happen to him in a way that we can't? What's the holdup? Is it something visible?
He is initially really resistant to giving that information. He gives you all kinds of lines about how if you're not a member of the family, we can't release that information, and blah blah blah, so on and so forth. And make your roll, please.
Excellent. Okay, so help me out with adding up all the dice here.
So you've got six successes coming, 6 extra dice coming in from Harper, and then you have your own dice pool.
Okay, so are Harper's successes extra dice for this?
Yes.
Okay, so 6.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And then okay, so persuasion. Specializing in information gathering, that's 3 more dice, right? And manipulation 2, that's 5, so 11 total.
There you go. Have it.
Oh, wait. Professional training, research associate.
How many dots do you have in it?
1.
Okay, then no.
Okay.
So
it doesn't add anything extra.
You've got more than enough dice at this point.
You never know. Okay.
So here's the catch, though. So at this point now, we're going to be doing something special. You're trying to actually do a persuasion. You're trying to convince somebody to do something they normally wouldn't do.
Yes.
Which means you're doing a certain kind of social maneuvering. And part of that is you're breaking through people's barriers. Yeah. And the game is represented as doors. There's typically a number of doors you have to break through. Equal to the lore of the characters, the person that you're trying to convince, the number of doors is equal to the lore of their resolve or composure. In this case, this person doesn't have a whole lot, so we're talking about 3 doors you have to break through. And normally, these things would take a lot of time to dig through, but you're in a rush. You're kind of pushing things. Let me see here.
I'm happy to burn willpower on this one.
You may need to set the terms. Let me find this really quick. I just lost it. Forcing a door. No, so the number of doors applies a penalty to the die roll. So in this case, remove 3 dice from your from your pool.
Okay.
How many dice does that leave you with?
8.
8. So you're still going to break through these 3 doors, and you need a success to break through each door.
And burning willpower gets me how many more dice on it?
3 more dice.
Okay, let's go back to 11. All right, I'm going to try not to hit myself in the face.
So you need to make a full roll per door.
Per door?
Yes.
So 11 rolls of 11 dice?
3 rolls of 11 dice.
3 rolls of 11 dice.
Yes.
Each.
Yes, and just to expedite things, if you get an exceptional success, then we'll blast through another door.
Okay. What is an exceptional success here?
5 successes.
Okay. Cool. Cool. 5 successes.
All right. So you stop him halfway through his resistance, and you just lay down the law. Explain. You tell him who you are. You seem all authoritative, and he starts to stammer, not quite sure how to respond to what you're throwing at him. And then in the middle of his stammering, you come back in there with some a little bit of coaching and trying to make him feel good about his job and what he's doing. But he really wants to help you, and he's starting to. It's obvious that he's starting to consider what it is you're trying to get him to do.
I mean, that's how we do a nonprofit. So let's go for it again.
Then
Next
go for
door.
one more.
4 successes.
Yes. So he looks around. He's like, I shouldn't be doing this. I've got a hour as after hours. I have to boot the system up fully, dig around in the database, figure out, look at all the John Does that came through here, and see what I can find. If you have a minute, I may be able to help you out. I can't release the body.
No, we know that.
But I can give you some information. So while he's doing that, you hear how are you dressed?
Like this.
Ferdy?
Oh.
Oh, Ferdy?
Yes.
Ferdy's probably just wearing an old button-up and a denim coat that has one elbow patched and the other one just worn through and not patched.
Mm-hmm.
And some like greasy jeans and cowboy boots.
All right, so that's the last thing is the thing I was looking for. So you hear the sound of heavy booted feet walking across the marble floor, and while just as you're finishing your conversation, you catch sight of Ferdy walk past you and go right into the coroner's office just further down the hall. And there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of ruckus, and then the door closes. And by the time you turn your attention back away from that, the clerk looks up and is like, well, so what I have here looks like we had a John Doe that came in, who we eventually identified as this John Hart. Is that who you're looking for?
Yeah.
So I guess we were able to identify him because he had we reached out to the library. He had a book on him that he had checked out that was actually doing it to say which library he was going to. So we gave a call, and they were able to suggest who he might be, and we contacted his family. But we can't. My records show that he there's two statements here. One is death by exposure, and the other is unknown circumstances, and that's there's some stuff there that's redacted that I don't have access to.
What happened to the book?
The book is with his belongings.
Okay. Which will be released with his family, of course.
Yes, but if you could get permission from the family and that it has some evidence of representing them, I could probably connect you to that.
I immediately call Harper.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Ferdy, you just blast through people. If guards try to stop you, you're like, you show your badge, you show jurisdiction, you show all this stuff.
Anymore, but they don't know
you've got and the big thing that you're able to throw around is the fact that you were tribal police. Yeah. And he has been identified as a native person. And in an attempt to connect to his reservation, they have been reaching out. He's actually from Red Lake up in Minnesota, so they've been reaching out to folks up there. And strangely enough, they were expecting somebody to come down to do some additional identification. They were hoping eventually to get Marianne to come down there, but they weren't able to. They didn't want to release it to her directly until some feds investigated. and the feds weren't sure how much jurisdiction they had over the body, so
Yeah.
they're kind of going back and forth over it, and that's why things are stuck.
So Ferdy just like blasts in and is like, "Hey, you got my cousin up in here, and I'm here on behalf of my niece to talk about it, and you guys have got some real problems here because you're not handling this right, because you don't know all the laws that go around this stuff. You can't hold this body this way. There's specific laws that protect the body, and I can bring the law down on you, or we can just handle this appropriately."
So, with all the assistance from your buddies here,
My entourage,
your entourage,
my nerd pals.
they're a little bit terrified. The Lewis is, he does. We're swiftly coming up on elections. His position is up again. He does not want the native community in the area is notorious for just tearing in the politicians who have made a mistake in Indian country, and he does not want that negative attention, and agrees to allow you to come in and see the body if that will appease you.
That's a start.
He doesn't know if he can release it yet.
We're gonna have to release it because there's laws about that, but that's a start.
But they haven't done an autopsy.
Well, that's why I'm here. I flashed the badge again.
So Dr. Mason lets you come back there, and you get back. Shows there's the multiple drawers of John and Jane Doe's. They pull them out, and he tells you much the same thing that Leo, the information Leo got, that they didn't actually know who he was, and it was only because of this the book that he had, that they were able to track down the library and then get get information from the librarians in the neighborhood about who he might be.
As we step in, I kind of like, to my friends, I kind of like nod towards where the body is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also put my arm in front of both of them, and I'm like, be respectful. And then I'm gonna go try and poke around in the stuff that got left behind, like, and look for the book and stuff.
Okay. So wait, which friends is this you're talking about?
My Shelby and Danny.
And did you actually bring George?
Yeah. If anyone says anything, I'm like, no, he's my trained canine.
Yeah,
he's a. So
in all the ruckus, the dog was the least of their concerns, and it's only as things are starting to settle down that they're realizing that there's a canine here. What kind of dog is he? Is he a res dog?
Yeah,
a good boy.
Yeah, There's probably some bloodhound in him. There's definitely some chow. I'm thinking that we got some retriever in him, and like definitely some skipperkey, and then probably plenty of pit.
Okay.
But I think mostly he probably like leans towards like a mangy. He's not actually mangy, but like a hairy kind of, like his fur doesn't grow the same in all the same places. Mixed between like a bloodhound and a chow chow.
Okay. And he's a touchstone.
I want him.
No, my uncle is my touchstone.
Okay.
He's just a retainer. He's a 3-dot retainer.
Oh, he's a retainer.
Yes.
Oh, so he listens.
Yeah.
So you
and
come...
also I have Animal Ken 3 with especially in dogs.
Okay, so as you come in, he's like a little soldier next to you. He sits down, he looks around. Yep. He gives a hairy eyeball to anybody who comes anywhere too close to you. Mm-hmm. And then and the other friends are not Harper. Daniel and Shelby are there with you?
Yeah, but Danny to me.
Danny.
Yeah,
so you're all in there. All four of you are now in the space. Danny and Shelby, could I have you to do a wits plus? I guess wits plus investigation.
Okay.
Oh.
Odd check.
Yeah, pretty much.
Roll perception.
So I have one of these nifty new hunter merits.
Okay.
called Gut Feeling. And I'm assuming we're looking at the body.
He is in the process of pulling the body out and putting it up on the table.
Okay.
Because it's right now it's bagged.
Oh, so is the investigation check for the body or the situation? Sorry.
This is more of a situation thing you're doing right now.
Okay.
This is just
For the situation, 3 successes.
okay. 3 successes for Shelby, and
yeah. Hold on. Sorry. I have 4 dice. No successes.
no
for
successes.
Me.
So you're just intent on being Fergie's backup as you're going in there. But Shelby, as you guys were going in, you could have sworn you saw Leo out there in the main area.
Oh no. Okay. I'll just smile at him on the way. But that's about it. I'm following the person in charge. And when he kind of gives us the nod, is that my character has empathy. Is that indicative of he wants me to take a look and have a general look at things? Or
because that's what you do. That it's very clear. Like he's like that's your thing. It's not mine. I'll go look at the items.
Okay, sounds good.
So while all this is going on, who is in communication with Harper?
I think Harper's getting constant updates from everyone but me, probably.
Okay.
Daniel's probably our responsible adult texting Harper.
Yeah, I can totally do that.
That's why he wasn't paying attention that I was there.
Poor Harper probably just gets like large block text updates from me. I was just like, oh my goodness, I forgot to update you about this, so let me send you a paragraph. And I'm sorry.
Just got shivers of frustration going down my spine right now. Just like, idiots.
So
right.
you are getting waves of information, Harper, as this is as all this is playing out. You're aware that Leo is made some success, I guess, at the clerk, and now you're also aware that Ferdy and the gang have made their way into the actual viewing area to look at the body.
Okay. Can I request people to, if they can, discreetly? I'm sure someone's already thought of this, but if they can discreetly take some photos.
No one's mentioned it so far. You can always request it.
All right. Can you guys make sure you take some photos and send them to me? Possibly? Please?
I will toss out here that really quick though, just to remind, because Ferdy won't do that because he's not looking. But I want to remind the other two that are in there with me that he was like, be respectful about the body.
Yeah.
Right.
My character will not, for the sake of the respectful thing, but she will leave Daniel to his own devices on that.
Okay.
What do you want me to roll for checking the body?
So let's back up a little bit. So before we get to the body, Leo out in the at the clerk area. What are you waiting for at this point? Where did we leave you at? You had gotten information about the book.
Me.
Yes, Leo.
Oh, I was calling Harper
Oh, you're calling Harper.
to get to get somebody to fake me permission to look at stuff.
Oh. So you need permission from Marilyn.
Yeah.
Sorry, from Marianne, to get
Marianne.
access to his remains.
Yeah.
His belongings.
Belongings.
Yeah.
The belongings specifically.
Okay.
So, Harper, that's in your hands.
Okay. Can I send a message to Marianne asking just
Facts.
explaining that we would like to expedite the process by having, since we already have people on hand, to get the items released so that we can give them to her.
So again, she's super happy. She's ecstatic. She's like, I'll do whatever I need to do. The clerk tells you, Leo, that she would need to fax in some information.
Yes. Could they at least take a picture of the signed document and just send it to my phone?
The clerk isn't quite sure that that's going to work out. They need an actual document that's been notarized and all this jazz. And
But what if the document is forthcoming and they just sign off on it and send a picture with next to their ID on my phone?
He's really wanting to help you, but he's not quite sure if he can get away with that stuff. And he's like, well, if you could have her give me a call,
Let's do that.
I can talk to her, and we'll if she's got some kind of it'd be awesome if you can get her to come down here.
I'm busy texting Harper this while he's talking. I'm in communications with him right now. Let's see what happens and see if we can get somebody to come down, but we do the best we can with what we got. And thank you so much. You've been so helpful about this.
He's very nervous about his assistance, but he's grateful for the thanks. So they pass the information on to you, Harper, that it would be if she came down, it'd be more useful. How do you want to handle that?
So I'm certain that some of these things are raising some red flags just based off of my experience with everything going on. And I feel like Harper would be very hesitant to suggest that, just simply because we don't really know what the state of the body is in, and to just save his daughter the trauma. I don't know if, I guess she texts back to the group chat. Do we have a group chat?
It's a group email that Ferdy doesn't read.
Email that Ferdy doesn't read.
There's a
This is
WhatsApp.
why Daniel is with us.
Just peering over your shoulder. I guess, what do you all feel? I'm sure she'd be more than happy to come down, but I want to spare her as much pain as we possibly can in this situation.
Okay.
But if it's inevitable, it's inevitable, and I can't have her come down.
How do you want to spin that to the clerk? That's a question for Leo.
It's a lot of hassle, but we can make it work somehow. And is there any way that we can make this easier on the family members who might be traumatized by this? We don't want to cause any more harm than it's already been happening.
So make another. Let's see if we can blast through one more door.
Persuasion. Am I still pumped?
You are. Manipulation plus persuasion. You're still pumped.
Manipulation, persuasion, and those successes that still existed?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just roll that 11 again. Roll. 4 successes.
All right. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Ferdy. The body is brought out for the three of you to see. This is Ferdy, Shelby, and Danny. And it is in a terrible state.
Oof.
So, Dr. Mason says you all may want to wear some masks. He passes out masks, gloves, the whole 9 yards. Unzips the bag, and the body is terribly battered and bruised. Terrible purple bruises all over the arms, all over the ribs. The face has been battered, and the thing that the doctor calls out first is, well, the interesting thing is it looks like he was dead before some of this damage happened. So technically, I've been writing this off kind of as an exposure, and then it looks like someone battered his body after he was dead. There's asphyxiation. There's obvious frostbite on his fingers. And he points all the things. And so Shelby, you've seen bodies. You've picked up many people out in the streets.
Yeah.
And your gut feeling. You had gut feeling, yes?
No.
Who had the
I
gut
have
feeling?
gut
You have the
feeling.
gut feeling. So, your gut feeling, Danny, is that there's something really wrong here. It's not. They're completely missing the diagnosis of his passing. And
So
so,
one of the sorry.
I'm sorry. And so, as you're all looking, just give me a wits. If you have the medicine skill. So, Shelby.
Yep.
Can I assist, but maybe with a different role, because I actually have an investigation specialty in corpses.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Okay.
It's very important.
So yeah, so wits plus wits plus investigation for you, and wits plus medicine for everybody else.
So gut feeling lets me use occult if I feel that there's something weird going on.
Okay, then in your case, wits plus occult.
Sweet.
And
So-
then I have a question. My union benefit, that allows me an 8 again on my roles that are in my personal training, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. For
So
teamwork.
8 explodes for you instead of
Team-
10s.
Only for teamwork. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to teamwork because I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
So I only got 1 success, but it gives you a +1.
So
Sounds good.
who is the lead here then? Shelby.
Shelby.
Okay.
Shelby. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me roll this. I'm gonna spend willpower as
Mhm.
well, and then I get 2 extra dice for gut feeling. So 6, 9, 10, 11 dice with 9 again. I got 6 successes.
6. So that's the 7
Okay.
bonus dice coming your way, Shelby.
Okay. All right.
So things that are already standing out to people is the level of damage that was done to his body. It was like he was. It looks like he was being kind of crushed. Something big either fell on him or wrapped around him, or it's there's a lot to sort out here.
I got 10 successes.
10. You have this awesome quick skill of sizing up a person's state. You have to do that out in the street. You never know how quickly you have to act to save someone's life. And there are things, and also there's all kinds of things you've had to take people out of bad situations. And there are certain situations you get used to seeing. And one of the things that you have seen a lot of are people who have, where you've been asked to come and pick up a body, and that's supposedly someone who is passed by an accident, but there's obvious signs of a struggle, like there's a fight. And in this case, that's the first thing that stands out to you, is how his fingernails are pulled back. Not only are his fingernails pulled back, but there's large chunks of something under the nails and caught in between his fingers. In addition to that, there are these interesting striations around his neck that looks like something had been wrapped tightly around it. And there was a strangulation, but definitely according to the doctor, he was dead before that strangulation kicked in. So there's something not quite right in how this is all coming together. But what's most important, what's most interesting to you, is that and this is something that when you pointed out to the doctor, he goes back and looks at it too. Most of his vertebrae have been kind of smashed, shattered. It's not as though he had been dropped. It's not as though he had been hit by a big force or anything. It's as if something incredibly powerful had wrapped around his body. His upper arms are broken. His back is mostly broken. His upper and lower ribs are broken, and there's swelling. His mouth is closed, but there's a lot of swelling in his throat. Something is lodged still in his throat.
Okay. I will politely ask the coroner to gather the appropriate bags, and I will not touch it, but I will gesture with my finger about the debris under the fingernails, and then I will like go over my general diagnosis, and then I will say there is something in that gentleman's throat.
In addition to that, Danny, what you noticed while this is going on, while they were looking, while she's talking and directing attention to the throat, that gut feeling keeps making you go back to look at his hands, and at what point you could have sworn you saw a finger twitch.
Well, I'm glad I'm outside.
It's just like a momentary thing. It's like a.
I just want that to be the look on his face of, this is unpleasant. I know who's not sitting with me in the back of the
So Dr. Mason comes back. He begins to adjust the body, kind of arch the neck, open up the mouth, and is trying to. And yeah, there's definitely. It's not noticeable at first glance, but if you get it right in the light, there's like something dark, and like string or something.
Is it underneath the nails?
It's also underneath the nails. It looks like hair.
Okay.
Like he swallowed a mouthful of hair.
Mm.
Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah. And Leo, you have the information you have. George. George is obviously a little nervous. Something's making George a little twitchy.
I'm gonna Ferdy's gonna just casually step back and put one hand in his denim jacket pocket.
Okay. What is in that pocket per se?
A loaded gun, sir.
I see. Leo.
Yeah.
So Clark comes back. He says, okay, so here's the stuff. There's some dog tags. There are some, where is it at? Dog tags, library card, obviously, and then a bunch of old rags. Looks like, you know, he had a habit of keeping snot rags or something on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me find my list here. The book is called. It's an older book by a gentleman by the name of Raymond Jansen, PhD, called "The Trail Signs of the Indians."
I examined the book for. I let it flop open, see what page it automatically turns to.
It's a paperback edition of a hardback book, and he's kind of like got like the pocket version. And what it is it's lots of information on trail marker trees. You know, you see all these pictures of these trees that have been bent. They're low hanging. They move across roads. Is where people in the old many native folks in the old days would basically adjust these trees over time to mark particular spots for various reasons. And
Are there any particular trees that would indicate where the body was or where he was looking?
He's got lots of little scribbles, which is which is a bad boy moment for a library book. But they seem to be focused around trees that are marking danger,
Mm-hmm.
hazardous areas, and that's about it. There is one that is circled, and he's got like an aha next to it, and that shows a tree that marks a it looks like a burial site or a tomb.
Does it say, and this is a manner of marking trees, but doesn't list out what specific trees would be marked in order to do that?
Oh, there's a variety of deciduous trees that are used in various ways. The ones that he's focused on are the types that you found around Dixon Mounds area, the Illinois area in general,
All right.
and even all the way out to Cahokia. Just basically trees used by various mound builder types.
Okay. Committing all that to memory because I'm assuming there's somebody there with me
Mm-hmm.
who's watching me look through all the items.
Right.
Is it my guy?
It's their clerk guy. He's sitting. He's through there, and there is an address, and there's a key with an address attached to it. It's got like a little a little tag on it,
Oh.
and it's his address on Kenmore.
I'm committing I'm hoping that I'm committing all these pieces of information to eidetic memory.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. You have eidetic memory.
Lovely.
Mhm.
He's not the only one.
Nerds.
And so yeah, you paste his book. There's all kinds of things in there. It's a very scholarly academic book. It's really tough reading. You really have to be into nature, conservancy, and such things to find this really interesting.
What's that?
And
Nonprofit conservationist scientist? What?
and yes, and it is it's checked out from the Harold Bazazian branch of the Chicago Public Library, which is the library that they reached out to, which is his local library.
Ah.
It seems like he was a regular user. This book he's checked out multiple times. At least in the past month, in the past 2 months he's checked it out 4 or 5 times with 2 and 3 week periods on it.
I'll blast out a text about that over to Harper. And what is did my clerk guy have a name? Head clerk?
Head clerk's name is James.
Oh good.
Another one.
Is James how much attention is James paying to me right now while I'm looking
James is
through...
texting.
James is texting?
Yes.
Larceny to pick up the key?
You're going to try to swipe the key in the process?
I mean, if I put the book down on top of the key, palm the key into my hand, and turn the pages of the book sitting down.
Yes. So go for it. That would be dexterity plus larceny versus his wits plus investigation.
Which he's got some minuses to because he's texting. Because research shows that people are trying to have multitask abilities, texting on their phone, lose focus of their surroundings.
So this is
We have found the chaotic neutral.
This is a contested
It's nonprofit
role.
work.
He has 4 successes.
Damn. Well, this isn't.
This is uncomfortable.
How? Well, okay. So can I larceny and subterfuge this?
No, it is an attribute plus the skill.
Oh, dang. No
You can spend a
extra bumps.
willpower point.
I could blow another willpower point. I mean, why not? And James had shared out that the risking willpower bit
Mhm.
Risking willpower.
is
Let's get Hunter fancy.
Oh,
Hunter
right. So
fancy.
the risking willpower basically is if you spend the willpower and make the roll, then you can get the willpower back.
It also
As I
has some
recall.
other little benefits.
And but
Yet-
if you fail, and you lose the willpower.
But this isn't in pursuit of the vigil, right? The risking willpower
For the
only-
vigil.
It's for the vigil. I mean, that guy got 4 successes, so like use it or lose it, right?
Right.
So burning a willpower point isn't the same as risking willpower.
It is not. It's
Okay.
basically letting the willpower point go and getting the bonus and calling it a day.
Okay. But I've already burned a willpower
You've
on
already
the
burned
scene.
1 point. You'll get a point back when you go to bed tonight. If you are working, what are your... Yeah, if you are engaging your vice or your virtue, you can get a point of willpower back. But you're
Well,
not
am I allowed to burn one point of
per
willpower?
action. Nope. But that's going to give you
okay.
3 dice.
I thought it said something in the rules about scene limitations of burning willpower.
Yes, there are. You can burn 1 point per action. This is
Okay.
1 action.
You can only risk 1 willpower a scene, though. I think that might be what you were.
Okay. Not that I'm going to risk a will point for grabbing a key at this point. So I'll go ahead and burn another willpower.
Okay.
Okay, so that means larceny plus dexterity.
Mm-hmm.
3 plus 1.
Wait. What's your larceny?
Larceny is 1.
What's your dexterity?
3.
Oh, so that's 4. So plus willpower, that's
7.
7. That's a good shot.
I hope so.
I believe in your power.
Ugh.
Harper believes in your power too. She's sending mojo your way.
5 successes.
5?
5.
Oh my
Holy
goodness!
cow.
Lovely.
Boo.
You are you not only do you succeed, but you succeed just in time. It's just like, hey, I really gotta go. I'm just getting torn apart here because I'm late for dinner. Could you hurry it up?
Absolutely. We're as done here as we can get without getting the body released.
Awesome. So I'm sorry I couldn't do more for it, but if you can get his daughter to come down here, we can expedite this process and get this all taken care of and get the family reunited with the body. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for your time, man.
You're welcome.
Give him the old wave.
Give him a
walk
wave.
on out.
It goes.
Enjoy that key in my pocket.
And you've got a key in your pocket.
Yeah.
Um,
And memorized everything else.
so back inside the room, what's going on? You've seen a twitching finger. There's like this hair that you're like, and it just kind of got the mouth open, and you're looking inside, and it's almost like a cat ball.
I politely request for the coroner to get possible, if he wouldn't mind me helping me get this stuff out and get like a bag or whatever container he wants for it. And if he goes with that, I look at the others like, if you want to collect your evidence while he has his back turned, now is your chance. But otherwise, I will attempt to just help them honestly, as I mean, it just looks like hair for now.
So you're trying to pull his attention away from the body to you.
Yes.
Okay.
Is just trying to help expedite figuring out what happened while also allowing Daniel, if he wants to continue to look at the finger that is creeping him out, to make those faces. Yeah, to make those faces. But also, I will be sure to look up and make sure that I'm not crossing any lines by just being like, yeah, there's more stuff here.
So manipulation plus persuasion to get his attention on you.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
And then you two, what are you going to do in the meantime?
So, poor Daniel here, poor Dr. Ayer, is very concerned about that twitching finger because we changed my vice to nervous. And he's just like, right. But if he could get, like, I don't know, he doesn't want to defile the body or anything because Ferdy mentioned it, but if we can get a sample of the hair, I think that would be ideal. Now that April is distracting the corner, I was actually going to make an occult roll to see if I recognized like any folklore legends about like what happened to him, like if there's any references to this in my Loyalist of Thule archives back home, because I also have eidetic memory.
Sure. For you, then that would be an occult plus intelligence.
Sweet. I am gonna risk a willpower on this. I'm gonna try this out. And I'm gonna choose the +3 dice and the lowering the exceptional down to 3 instead of 5.
Okay.
Because why not? So let's see. Intelligence 3, occult 4. Does my occult specialty in folklore count?
Yes, it does.
Does my occult specialty in magic count?
At this point, no.
Cool. 2 for that, 2 for that, 3 for that. So I'm rolling 15 dice. This is where I start going crazy Call of Cthulhu style. 15 dice.
Hold on. Sound effects, folks.
Have it.
And I'm glad I lowered that success threshold because I only got 4 successes.
Wow. Okay. I'll come back to you with some information in a second.
No problem.
Ferdy, while Dan is stroking his face, having a moment of reminiscing about old folklore, go, wait, this reminds me of something. What are you doing?
You know what? Someone's got to do this. So Ferdy's gonna lean in and take a really close look at that finger and see if he can get an idea about what's going on.
You just gonna look at the finger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I would like to investigate it
Okay.
if I could use my corpse specialty.
Oh yes. So that let's do a wits and investigation.
Okay.
Plus your corpse specialty.
Okay.
Well, JF's rolling dice. I also wanted to risk willpower because it's my Loyalist of Thule benefit. So I actually get 2 willpower back.
Woohoo!
On my roll, I got 1 success unless I get additional dice for just making him focus on whatever it is in the throat.
No, at this point, it's just getting him away from the table.
Oh, I mostly wanted him to like help me with the throat while they look at the creepy hand.
That's easy. He's definitely he's already there helping with the throat. He's like, I don't even understand how I missed that the first time around, and he's like shining a flashlight down in there. And while they're doing that, I'm
offering to be his assistant. I was like, would you like me to get these bags for you?
He is in the process of getting some forceps and trying to extract that from the throat of the victim. While this is all going on, Harper, you're collecting lots of information. You're hearing all this stuff. Any thoughts or particular things you would like to do beyond talking to Marianne about the situation?
I think I'm just most interested in getting my hands on that book, and I don't know how that's going to be possible at this point. I don't know if maybe once everything is released to Marianne, I can ask her look at it. But I think, I don't know. I'm so far away from everyone at this point. I think I'm just anxiously waiting everybody's, I physically can't see the body, so I have no input on that at the moment, and I don't have anything physical. So I think at this point, I'm just kind of hanging out, hoping that's something. Maybe I can ask. Who has the book right now? Or
Leo
is
has
the
a book right now.
Okay,
Go ahead, the book.
and you don't have it anymore, correct? Like you had to skedaddle after you stole the key.
Yes, but I know everything there is to know about the book, including where it's from, what assumably what pages this person, Mr. Hart, was looking at specifically. So you could find another copy of said book anywhere else and be able to. I can describe to you what pages things are marked out on. And of course, we should probably investigate the library. They said he was a frequent flyer over there at that particular branch, so they've got to know where this person has been.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so if you can give me the call number, and then the library that it's from, and possibly a couple of the pages that he had most frequently marked, like dog ears, or the pages that had the most writing on it.
Yep.
I can.
Or circled trees.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome.
And I could possibly do something from my end.
I mean, we can also do an interlibrary loan.
Yeah.
Can I? What do you want me to eidetic memory roll on that one, or?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
It's an easily accessible piece of information at this point.
Okay.
The last thing though that the clerk does say to you as he's packing up is like, he says, somebody really should, I don't know, they need to do something over there. This has got to be like the 5th one of these busted up bodies that we got in.
5th. I'm not letting that go. I'm fucking dig deeper into it. Is there persuasion I can go to? Could you tell me a little more about that? How many were those? Where were those bodies located?
Okay, I'll come back. Inside the I'm bastard like that. Inside the so you have one thought, Danny. Actually, you have a couple thoughts. If you're considering supernatural beings that this could possibly be, and you're looking at the various types of hair, there's a plethora of hair-based entities or hairy entities. Especially considering that you're in this portion of Uptown that is filled with Southeast Asian folks. It can be anything. It can be literally anything. I mean, there's all kinds of creepy ghosts with long hair and long hair. Everybody has long hair. Is what it feels like. From Penanggalans to all kinds of vengeful spirits to the whole shebang. So you start making a short laundry list of things that it could be. But it's going to require you to go back to your office and compile a full list. But you something is tickling in the back of your mind about what this could be.
Okay, perfect.
Like a hair?
Ferdy, you were trying to get some of the stuff from underneath. Look at the nail.
Yes.
So,
how many successes
did you get?
I got 0. May I choose to have a dramatic failure so that I can gain a beat?
Yes.
Nice.
I done and done.
So
yes.
you lean in while Shelby is helping with the throat, and you see it. The finger twitches, and in that moment, something flicks into your eye.
Oh god!
You let out a yelp and back away.
Brady's like,
and it's like a sting.
Like full on 28 days later. Like,
I love that this is happening in front of Daniel. That has to be the look on his
terrible
face.
sting.
I'm like,
Georgie lets out a little whimper.
Oh no!
And your vision gets a little blurred, and your eyes begin to tear up a bit.
all right.
It's itchy, but then it seems to settle.
Uh,
allergic about it.
Is there like a sink in here? I'm assuming there's a sink in here.
There are.
I go straight towards it and start trying to rinse out my eyes.
It starts right. It seems a clear thing. Just seems to be, if it feels good, and the pain goes away.
I'm gonna roll a quick resolve plus composure to see if I freak out, if that's okay.
Is this an integrity check for you?
Yeah, just real quick. Okay, I do not freak out.
Okay,
That's good.
you don't freak
But I'm
out.
like, ew.
The last thing that happens in this scene is the coroner withdraws a glob of this hair, and it's interesting because as he pulls it out, it takes. You ever unclog a sink where there's been dirt and hair that's been gathering for a while? It takes a few pulls to extract this gunk, and as soon as it is fully out of the throat settles, but what was once wet immediately seems to dry up and wither and turn to dust.
Oh shit!
And it's that's curious. He rushes over
this
to
corner.
try to bag what little bits of this dusty powder that he can, to look at it later, and says that he will check it out and get back to you in the morning. And with that, he says he does have to close things up.
No.
But they'll see what they can do for you. In hopefully you got some information. You can go back to the family, tell them what you saw, and be ready figure out what you can do for the memorial. There's a good chance that you may actually be able to get the body released by tomorrow afternoon. The clerk is gone. Dr. Mason needs to move on, and in the swirl, the lot of you are sent out of the morgue, and you're back on the street, where you must make new plans because we are at time's end. It is 11 o'clock. So we are left with a situation. There's obviously something wrong with the body. You have an address. You also have information about the library, and you have a book to investigate.
The key.
Yes, the key is and the key is part of the address. So those things should give you plenty of leads, and when we come back next week, for you to figure out a little bit of what is going on with Mr. John Hart. So
Can I fulfill an aspiration? I think I did during this.
Which aspiration?
I wanted to show my friends the value of just throwing down and walking straight through the front door, and as opposed to like doing this more circuitous route.
Sure.
Yeah.
Accept that. So we will bring this evening, this session to an end. Thank you all so much for being involved in the narrative and taking it and playing with it and having a good time.
A great time. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It was a blast.
Pick it up again next week at 9 o'clock. Real quick, once more, can we go around the circle, have everyone call out their names, where they can be found on the interwebs, and then we will say bid everyone a fond adieu. So let's start with Gabe.
Hi, I have been Gabriel de Los Angeles playing Leo Calder. You can find me on academia.edu under my full name. Probably, I guess you could probably follow me on Facebook, but I don't accept all friend requests like James does.
I'm a nightmare person.
But you can follow some of the public posts I put out there. Yeah,
Okay.
why not?
Thank you. Let's come back down around to April.
My name's April Songer. You can find me on Facebook, but otherwise I am just around on this stream, and this is all I do besides working full-time in school.
Awesome. Amber?
So my name's Amber Lynn. I'm known as the Rebel Selkie on Twitter, and that's how you guys can find me. I also have my coffee listed on Twitter, so if you guys want to tip me for all the wonderful work I do, if I do say so myself, feel free to toss, a coin to your Witcher or whatever.
How dare.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for tuning in.
Yay. James?
I'm James Foster. You can find me on Twitter at umbravenetier. I'm not working on any big projects, but I'm a member of the Mind's Eye Society, which is a U.S. national LARP org that runs World of Darkness and Chronicles of Darkness games. So please check us out at www.mindseyesociety.org.
Awesome. JF?
Find me on Facebook. Like I said in the beginning, I'll add anyone until you're a jerk and I'll block you. And then follow me on Patreon, JF Zambrano. And then you could also, if you want, I'm a little less active, but sometimes follow me on Twitter at JF High, H-I-G-H on that one.
Awesome. Thank you. And I'm Alan Turner, your storyteller. You can find me on Twitter at Council of Fools. You can go to my blog at councilfools.com/blog. And you can find me on Facebook as Alan, A-L-L-E, and Turner. Just like JF, I'm happy to accept friend requests unless you're a jerk. And then you're gone. So be awesome. Thank you to all my excellent players. I appreciate your time and look forward to sitting down with you again next week. So until then, take care, everyone, and good dreams. Bye.
Have good hairball dreams.
Hair and eye dreams.
No bueno.
No.
Well, we know which cabin in the woods scenario it's going to be.